We're live! Hey, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube world. We actually are streaming on multiple devices right now, which is exciting that we live in this new world of technology that we could touch so many people at one time. And I am here today with one of my most favorite people, and she was new to the team last year, brand new into real estate, and she's a complete rock star. She's leading our leaderboards right now, 5 million in volume in 6 months of being on the team and being a new agent. And I wanted to show the world like that you don't have to be an agent with 10, 20, 30 years. Obviously you're a cut above the rest, but I wanted to hear what your experience is, working with our team and being in real estate. So like when you first got in, were you scared? Were you worried about what
more than scared?
Was like?
More than scared. I mean, obviously I interviewed a couple of different people to find the right place for me. The Weiner Group understood mom life, understood kid life, and that held a very high standard for me. I have 2 children, 10 and 12, that are extremely busy. And I wanted to be with people that understood the concept of juggling real life with work. Always wanted to, be a full-time worker. And I was scared. I was leaving a job with paychecks that you knew how much money you were getting every month. And what was I going to do? I was older than most people. And obviously my friends had bought a million homes from people that they use the same agent over and over again. How was I going to make myself successful? Was obviously a huge fear. Sat down with you for an interview, and all the fears really went away. It was what you were looking for in an agent. I felt like I had, and I was a good fit for the team so that you guys could understand where I was coming from in time management and, was I going to get the training I needed to be successful? How am I going to get the clients to be successful? Everything that goes into being a successful real estate agent, how was I going to do this? And when I decided to make the change, I told myself, you have to give it 110% or it won't work. I've met a lot of real estate agents that thought, oh, this is a walk in the park. I can, do what I want, have lunch with my girlfriends, go here, go there, and I'll just sell real estate, when it falls in my lap. I did not want that. I wanted a full-time job to create a career for myself for the rest of the time that I had to work. And I sat down with you and you told me that you had leads, and I left there going, everybody says they have leads. Do I believe it? Do I not believe it? And I really just took a leap of faith to say, you know what? I trusted what you had to say, felt like you were extremely genuine, told me that I would do well because of my work ethic. And I trusted it, and it deemed to be true. From day one, you guys provided the support I needed. You provided the training that I needed. And it was really about just making sure I worked hard to take the leads that I was given to turn them into buyers and clients and people that I really, truly cared about at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that's so true. It's like when I know we have our core values and they're kind of long, there's a lot of them, but one of the biggest things is that we just care. We care about our clients. We care about each other. We care about our brokerage and our EXP partners. And if you don't care, you just shouldn't be in this business, but you care so much. And you just, I don't even think you give yourself credit for as good of an agent that you are.
I probably don't give myself credit because to me, it's just a natural thing. Somebody needs something. My job is to figure out how to solve that problem. And if the problem is that they have been looking for a house for 5 years and haven't found the right agent to find them that right house, then my job just became a little bit harder. And I'm going to find that house to make that person my client and me their agent. So again, I think a lot of it is just, I feel somebody when they call and they have this problem, what is it that I can line up to solve that problem? And most of the time, it's really just listening to what they have to say. And I'm a good listener, and I hear what they have to say, and I take that information from what they've given me and I run with it. and I try to supply them the best customer service that I possibly can, so that the transaction of one of the largest purchases of someone's whole entire life that they'll ever make is seamless. I do understand that 99% of people, I guess, go to the internet for start their search, and they look at hundreds of homes before they get to somebody.
Mhm.
And I knew that if I didn't please this person on the call that I got, then somebody else was going to. So what did I have to do to change that attitude, or that person's, maybe what they were thinking that somebody else had told them, to turn them into trusting me? That is what it's all about. You need to trust that I know what I'm doing, and that I'm here to find you the right house. And I don't want them to work that hard at finding themselves a house.
Yeah, and you're so right. As far as like buyers starting their home search on the internet, and they might be in 10 different agents' databases. They might be getting listings from agents. They're set up on the MLS. They get automatic listings every day. But more than ever, I'm finding that, the consumers have changed since I got into real estate in 2003. And it's the used car salesman approach isn't what they want anymore. They don't want that hardcore salesperson. They want an advocate. They see through the bull, you know what? They want genuine. And that's what I know with you. That's what they see. Like you are who you are, Rachel. There's no like bull crapping, or I'm trying to be politically correct. Right, use that, which I shouldn't use. So, but like you're a genuine person, you're authentic, and that's what I believe at the end of the day, what they're walking away from, and the experience they get with you stands out above the 10 agents that they were already in their databases. Because
Absolutely.
I think a lot of agents take buyers for granted, their clients for granted, like they think that their value proposition is more than what it is, because it's not the MLS. That's not it. It's
Well, not
listening.
anymore. There's just too many places for them to find their own house. And to be honest, there's so many of us in the state of Arizona. If I don't find a way to stand out, I'm not going to survive here. And I know that. And that is probably part of my drive, to know that out of 43,000 other agents, I need to provide something that is different than the 42,999 others that they have spoken to, or know of, or their sister or their neighbor or whoever it is. I have to find a way to kind of get myself in there to say, there's no other person you want to use but me.
And it's funny because when we announced this, one of your clients had wrote, he had done a few real estate transactions in his life, and you probably know more of his history than me, but he had wrote, you were the best real estate agent he ever had.
Well, when I met him, believe it or not, he had spoken or called in to get some information. I think he said 3 or 4 other times, and he hadn't had anybody call him back. Or he spoke to him one time and they said they were going to send, homes for him to look at, and he didn't get that. And I took and again listened to what he had to say and was like, I'm not that person. I'm going to be the exact opposite. And actually, he bought and sold with us. So he sold his condo and he bought his condo with us. We provided him with a contractor that came in and did a full gut job of his house. So he's actually living in his dream home. And I couldn't be happier for him. And we've become so close, him and I. So we've become friends. So it's not really just about making and having clients out of this. For me, I want it to be a lifelong relationship. That's just who I am. I want, whether he's talking to his neighbor or he's a flight attendant. He comes into contact with so many people, not right now, but most of the time when he goes to work every day, he is somebody that can advocate for me to say, there's nobody else you want to use. And I know that. And one bad review goes into 10 other people, who goes to 10 more people, and that trickles down really, really fast. And I really just know that I have to give everybody the same service. I'm customer service oriented, and I want to make sure that you get that as my client. That's important to me.
Absolutely. The client experience is everything. And that has been our mission, to make sure that we are delivering on what we're promising. that we have a value proposition, which obviously there's so many agents right now, which, if we're going into a shift, we'll probably see less agents, but still, there is a lot of competition. There's a lot of great agents, but that just means we have to be that much better. And
Yep.
like, what can we do to level up? And, I would love to hear from you of what you think of like what we're doing to provide that client experience.
We do so many things actually to our clients to provide that client service. We have a client care coordinator that reaches out and makes sure that they introduce themselves to know that we are here for them. We congratulate them when they get past certain aspects of the transaction that we know are extremely stressful to get through. So we get excited about that when we get through those milestones that we need to get through in order to close the transaction. Our follow-up, we actually send them questionnaires to know what they like to do for fun, so that when it comes time to be putting on client, what do you call it? Like client events, that we're doing things that our clients actually want to do, not what we want to do. This is about who we do business with, and we want to thank them for that. And so when we do those events, it's really important that we get their feedback. So A, they participate, and B, like I said, they're getting their whole family involved to come do something with us that they want to do. I remember my first week that I started, you guys had all these volunteer opportunities. I only volunteered when my kids had to volunteer for hours because it didn't fit into my schedule in the past. What was nice was you allowed us to fit this in, and you made it a priority to fit it in. And it changed so much of what I've been teaching my kids since I started with you guys, and how important it is to give back and be able to be part of the community when it comes to, whether it's serving meals to people with cancer that, can't go out and get their own meals, whether it's going to St. Mary's Food Bank to pack some boxes with my team, things like that I never, in all my professional life, it was never something anyone made a priority. And that was extremely motivating for me too, that this was the right team for me to land on. It wasn't really just about getting out there and hitting the ground hard to make money. It was really about giving back to the community and what we can do for others, always.
I know. And it's funny because one of our, the closing gifts, we always like to get something personal for them, but we have this little bag that we give with because when you move into a house and your boxes aren't there, you're trying to find which box has your toilet paper. We have a little grocery bag, a reusable grocery bag with toilet paper, paper towels, antibacterial, hand sanitizer, and those gift values just went through the roof. It used to just be like oh yeah, as a matter of fact, here you go, this little thing. But now it became like a hot commodity in this current situation.
And I'll tell you, I've delivered 3 of those in the last week. And every single time, I swear to you, they are jumping for joy. They've been to 5 grocery stores looking for Lysol, and my bag has Lysol. So it definitely creates bonus points. And again, it really shows the detail of what we do, that it's not really just about buying the house. It's about making sure the full experience was exactly what you expected it to be. It was easy. You were communicated through with the whole entire process. You got videos from me. So you saw me, you saw me in the house doing your walkthrough if you're out of town. Again, whatever we can do to make the experience and the process of purchasing a home as easy as can be, that's what our jobs are. And we do it well.
And, it's like, it changes and we can always get better. And like what we have going on today isn't going to be what we have going on tomorrow or next month. And I mean, we even have with our current situation, the first week we went through COVID, I spent $1,000 on hand sanitizer. We had to go to a distillery to find it, but we wanted to make sure all of our buyers had it. So we had, the little ones made up, and we wanted to make sure it was at all of our sellers, out of our listings. But, we had a pivot and we're like, okay, there's a problem right now. There's a virus, but people have to buy and sell still. You can't just not relocate for your job because there's the lockdown, but we want to be safe. And, that's just one thing. But, along the way, we hear your feedback, agents, clients, and we're always looking to improve. I don't understand how agents can have an ego because, I guess we all have an ego to an extent, but this market's crazy. It's changing. And right now we're in this like unprecedented territory where we don't know what's going on, but we're all extremely proactive. And it's that group, like our daily huddles right now are so important. Like we couldn't just talk once a week. We wouldn't, like, things are changing every day.
Our morning role plays, which are every single day but Tuesday, they're the most valuable thing that we can do to figure out what other people are doing that works. So listening to everybody's input, from somebody who's been doing this for 20 years, from somebody who's been doing it one day, all of it is extremely valuable. And so when we bring that to the table every morning and can, kind of collaborate on what strategies work and what strategies don't, those tools provide every agent that's part of our team success. Like they have to. We do so many things that are so different and outside of the regular box of how to sell real estate, that when I came to you, that's what you said. Hey, we put this letter together so that our buyers and our sellers meet. Genius. Nobody does it. Something that's so different. And every time I explain that to my clients, they're like, God, that makes so much sense. So again, going back to it, it's a lot of it is the small things. But as you said a little bit earlier, we're in a market now that we have to become creative. How is it we're going to get our buyers to be able to get the houses that they want? What can we tell them? What can we do for them to make sure that if their number one house is under contract, do we have a suggestion? Do we have, a way around this so that we can somehow get them their number one house? I have a suggestion, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope it works. And I'm going to throw a contract in backup, and I'm just going to pray to God that some point that their number one house fell out with the other buyer. And at the end of the day, if you don't suggest those things to our buyers, they don't know that they can do it. And I think there's so many other agents out there that think about, oh, well, I don't know if it's going to go through. So why would I spend the time to write it? It doesn't make any sense not to. Again, our job is I feel my job is to find my buyer their number one house. And I'm going to do whatever I can to get that number one house. So how creative can I get that to that point? And I wouldn't have ever been able to do any of that without morning role plays.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes I know we're talking at 8:00 at night because you're putting a multiple offer situation together, and you're like, Jen, can do what do I do? Like, it's that problem solving together, because sometimes you have a solution to a problem that I was like, oh my God, that's genius. And sometimes it's Marsha or Linky. You know what I mean? It's not me necessarily, or it's not just you. It's all of us together that I learn from you guys every day.
Yeah. And you need that support. I mean, you need to be able to pick up the phone and say, here's the situation. What would you do? And you want that information from people that you work with on a daily basis. The team is so great that if you can't open up a door because you've got other clients, there's people there to do it for you.
Yeah.
I'm in situations where, 6 months ago, I was new to the Jennifer Weiner team, and now I'm mentoring somebody. So, the opportunities that are brought upon you as long as you join the team willing to work hard. And again, I had no choice. I needed to make this work. This was my new job. And I needed to know that my new job was going to bring home a paycheck. So I needed to know how to get out there. And I had a mentor when I started. The mentor program's amazing. Somebody that can walk you through a contract, somebody that can, tell you how to sell land. If you've never picked up a phone and tried to sell land before, I've never heard septic versus sewer versus topos versus, I didn't know any of that. But to be able to get those opportunities and feel like I've almost seen everything in the first 6 months is crazy. I mean, I kind of remember my first contract was a VA contract. I got this client. He had already met with another agent. I had like nothing going for me on this whatsoever. He had no money for earnest money. And now we found a house. What are we supposed to do?
In a crazy, crazy seller's market.
Correct. And I didn't know what I was going to do. He had good days. He had bad days. Some days he hated me. Some days he liked me. Some days I showed the right house. Some days I showed the wrong house. And guess what? We closed on a house December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. His family's first house ever. $10 down for earnest money. Guy got it back at close of escrow. So again, like I said, you guys have presented me with everything I feel like I could possibly see. But without you guys, I wouldn't have thought I'd be able to get through that. And I did. And we closed. And he's happy as pie. And his girlfriend's happy as pie. And the kids had this amazing first birthday party in this house, brother and sister in a pool that they've never had of their own. That's why I do what I do every day. Because those kinds of stories that come back to me when I get a text 4 months after I closed on their house and they want to show me their kid's birthday party in their pool, that's what gets me out the next day to do it for someone else.
That's awesome. And that's something I saw right off the bat. We would send you a $70,000 land lead in the West Valley, not even close to you. And you would go to bat. You would show up. Luckily, like, I've done a lot of land and development and I was able to help coach you there. But, you know, when I still remember, and I don't remember the buyer, but she was like 130,000.
110,000. And she was a mobile home in Mesa or something.
No, this is a different one. This is the condo. So you've had a few that you've had to work through. This is the co-op. And you talked her out of a purchase because it wasn't the right purchase for her. But you must have shown her, I think, 40 homes under 180,000 and put out, I don't remember how many offers you had put out because she had very little to put down. She needed to earn closing costs. It's a crazy seller's market. But it wasn't about the price. It wasn't about the commission. It was about the client and everything. You worked so hard on that one. I remember we talked about it numerous times, and I know we like helped her out. Like we did whatever we can do together to get her into a home. And that was a conversation I had with literally 8 agents. I have written 8 contracts for this poor young girl. All she wanted to do was build equity somewhere, wanted to stop paying rent. And I had that conversation with 8 different agents. And all we were doing was losing out to a cash investor every time, something I could not compete with. And I knew that. And I kept saying to myself, okay, one of these days we're going to find something. And I would send her homes at 5 o'clock in the morning and be like, this just hit the market. And we would be in that house by 9 a.m. I think there were 3 or 4 we even put contracts on without seeing, because we got to the point where all we wanted to do was buy a 1-bedroom condo. That was it. And we went under contract. And unfortunately, we found the perfect unit. But with the coronavirus, she had lost her job. So she'll be back in when we get back to work. But you know what? I know she'll be back because she knows how much I worked for her. And like you said, she knew I absolutely wasn't making a ton of money on her. For me, it was about putting this young girl and letting her start her life on building equity so that in 2 years, I could either sell her a new house because she's built enough equity, or she could rent that house out. I just wanted her to be able to financially feel like she was sound, and a home was going to do that for her. And so at the end of the day, for me, it's never about how much money I'm going to make off that client. It's about that client being happy. So that client tells somebody else, and then I can make my money from that person and that person and that person. So it makes up for it. I just want my clients happy at the end of the day. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, obviously, like when you join the team, you're not going to get, hey, this is one of my past clients looking to buy a luxury house. They're going to buy in the next 30 days. Here you go. You know, you're a new agent. You have to earn your stripes. But there's no seniority. It's not like, oh, Rachel, you have to be on our team for 1 year. You have to be on our team for X amount of time before you earned your stripes right away. You hit the ground running. We saw it and we're like, okay, we're going to deliver you more and better opportunities because we know who's going to show up at that door. And I think we've bombarded you a little bit, but you've been able to hold your own, and you continue to deliver on the client experience. And as long as you do that, we want to introduce you to as many buyers and seller clients as possible because of like just how much we admire and respect you and how much we care for our clients and want them to have that experience that they all should have.
I've always wanted to work for somebody I was in the medical business for a while. I've been licensed in real estate since 97, so a really long time. But I've always wanted to work for somebody that rewarded you for doing what you were supposed to be doing. And
Mhm.
that is exactly what this was. I knew at the beginning that I had to take the lead in Buckeye that was unqualified, needed to go on credit repair for God only knows how long. I knew I needed to take those in order to get to where I am now. And
Mhm.
I was ready, willing, and able because I wanted to learn from that. And I
Mhm.
wanted to tell you guys, I'm not scared of anything. I mean, I sold a house recently in Buckeye, like far west Buckeye, so really close to Los Angeles County. And
Life.
and again, that client keeps saying to me, the house was $220,000. And the guy keeps saying to me, I know you're not making $1 million on this. And I keep saying to him, I don't care, Rob. My job is to make sure I get that handyman in there to fix the items before you get there, to get your house painted before you get here from Portland.
Mhm.
He's retiring here from Portland. He was on a very tight budget. He wanted a new house, and there was only one spot to go. So here we are, and he's happy as pie with the house, but he needs some stuff to get done. And I've gathered up resources, figured out what he needs, and we're going to get the tile in the house, we're going to get the house painted and everything that he needs. Did I have a handyman that wanted to go to Buckeye? No. But again, with having a team, you always have a boatload of resources. And that, I think, provides so much more value to our clients
Mhm.
when they don't want to buy the house because the sprinkler system is broken. Okay, well, guess what? I've got the greatest sprinkler guy you could find. Okay, well, now you just took that reason why they couldn't buy it because they're thinking to themselves, where am I going to find a sprinkler guy I trust? Well, we have that and we provide that. And we want to make sure that our clients have all the resources they need when it comes to buying a house because I don't want them to not buy the house because they don't feel like they have the resource to do what they want to do to it.
Yeah, really what any business is they're well-paid problem solvers. Well, hopefully well-paid, but problem solvers. The more problems we can solve and the better we can solve them, the more opportunity we're going to have financially. And also like leverage too. It's like one thing you would come to our team with kids. I have 4, so I understand the need for balance and we'll call each other. My kids are going crazy in the background. I'm like, your kids are like behind you. I'm like, hi, Morgan. But that's who we are. We're moms. We're daughters, and it's cool. Our clients will call us. My clients will call me at 8:00 at night, and I'll be like, you'll have to excuse. I have 2 rowdy boys, but the fact that we can balance this together, and when you want to take a vacation, which we have in our agency vacation, you don't have to worry about leaving your clients hanging. You can count on the team, and I love the culture of our team now. I just love because there's so much I don't even know. You guys talk to each other all the time, like, hey, can you show this property? Can you show this property? If you go on vacation, let us know. We can help check your email. We could forward calls, whatever we need to make sure that your business doesn't drop just because you are taking a very well-deserved vacation.
No, and that was another part of joining a team that understood what real life was. I'm somebody that works really, really, really hard, but I'm
Mhm.
also somebody that does not want to miss a soccer game. I don't want to miss a dance competition. I don't want to miss the things that make me a mom. And if I joined somebody that didn't respect that, it'd be very, very difficult to have balance in my life between family and work. And I remember when I first took the job, my husband said to me, you're working twice as much now than you've ever worked in your entire life. And
Mhm.
it was fine with me though, because it was on my own terms. It wasn't, I had to go to work at 8:00 and I had to be done at 4:00. This was, I could get up at 5:00, work till 8:00 till I drop kids off at school. And now I have until 2:30 till I pick everybody up. Everybody gets dropped off by 4. And now I've got from 4 to 8 to do what I need to do. But nobody is saying, Rachel, where were you today at 2:30? Bottom line is I have a job to do. I have clients to take care of. And if I do that within the hours of the day that I have available, then I did my job. And I know I'm doing my job when we're finding homes, we're looking at homes. And again, I normally don't say no to a client. I've learned the hard way. That's not always the best thing, is that, but I always want them to know I'm available. And if you read my reviews on Zillow, a lot of them say that anytime that they reach out, I'm always willing to help do it, or give them a time I will do it, because that's how I work. I work with an extremely full schedule, and I'm not actually as effective if my schedule is not full.
Yeah. And I think that's also what attracted to each other. I am not a leader that, hey guys, I'm just going to kick back on my lawn chair and let you guys work while I sip martinis. I mean, I'm pulling in 70 hours a week too, because I mean, I'm putting so much energy into I work with some clients, so I know I'm boots on the ground. I'm not like theoretical. Like, I'm working with clients actively, but I'm not cherry picking. Pretty much my clients are my clients, and you guys get, you get luxury clients, anywhere across the spectrum, but it's hard work. And I get irritated when agents get into the business for freedom and easy money, because this is one of the hardest working jobs that I can imagine, because you are kind of expected, even though we are free to create our own lives. And just like I can go to my son's school ceremony, and if I have to take a call, I can tell them, right, I can call you at 10:30 when the ceremony's over. Or I can, or if you need immediate assistance, call the transaction coordinator. But I'm going to lead by example. Like, I'm not going to be the lazy one on the team. Like, I am going to work hard and lead by example. And, and that's what we both have in common. And also, one thing I see in you that I know I have as well is grit. Like, we don't get scared of problems. We don't get so stressed out over every little rock in our path, and I mean, your level of grit is here, it's high. You're not scared, and that's what I love, because it's like, we are just, plus, like, your mom, like, at childbirth, the pain of childbirth, and I only experienced it once, because the next 3 times I made sure to get the epidural. But I think maybe, I don't know if it's that experience alone, but in real estate, you learn really quickly. It's not easy. The freedom you have to work really hard to get. But, I've learned, and that's why we've implemented systems to make it easier for you guys to have leverage. Because when I first started, and I was getting calls on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I didn't have a team, and I'm a people pleaser too. Like, I don't want to leave people hanging when they're, really concerned about one of their biggest financial decisions, but it's like, having the grit, having the work ethic, that is something that all of the top producers have. Laziness just doesn't exist on this team. And if somebody does come with lazy habits, usually they don't last very long.
Well, and I think in the real estate business in general, they don't last long. And that was, I remember interviewing with you, and I actually had a doctor reach out to me right after I had interviewed with you. And I pretty much had decided this is what I was going to do. I was going to go to real estate. And I had a doctor reach out to me in the field that I was in, offered me an extremely attractive package to, go with her. And I said to her in the interview, as much as I'd like to take this security blanket, I made myself a commitment, and I need to know that I can do it. I will call you in 6 months if it doesn't work for me, but I do know I'm going to give it 110%, because if I don't, I'll be that same agent that wants to know why I don't have any deals. And I feel like that happens often. People, like you said, come in and think, oh, this is the easiest life ever. I get to go and come and go as I please. But at the end of the day, 5 months into it, they want to know why they're not making any money. And I did not want to be that person. I didn't want to be the person that said I tried something and didn't work for me. That's not really in my DNA. It's just not. It's, if I am given a task, I have to figure out a way to be good at that task. And so when I said that to the lady, to the doctor, she said, I can appreciate that. And I think that that's awesome. You made yourself a commit. You're going to try. So I started with you guys in October. January, I think it was 15th, she sent me an email and wanted to know how I was doing, because she still hadn't hired anybody for the position she wanted to hire me for.
I didn't even
And
know
my response was, I'm doing wonderful. I'm loving what I do day to day. And she was like, awesome, great. Let me know if you know anybody good for the job. Because she knew at that point I wasn't jumping ship with her. I had found, and literally, like you said, I'd made myself a commitment and I was going to live through that commitment. And I will tell you, I'm shocked to be where I am with you guys on the team. I didn't think that in 6 months that this was possible. I thought maybe give myself a year and I'd be where I wanted to be. I remember Christine, who does a lot of our training, and she's your partner. And she said to me, I think it was December, you were asking for goals. I've been with you guys for 2 months and I'm like, how am I supposed to have goals? I don't, what do I know? Like, I showed a couple houses that are 200. I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll sell $7 million next year. And Christine said to me, Rachel, that's insane. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, $7 million is too much. I'm not going to accomplish that. She's like, nope, I want to see you do $24 million. And it was like a number I never even thought of in my entire life. And so she gave me something to think about of, she really thinks that that's possible. And guess what? 6 months into it, if we weren't under the coronavirus, not that I think we've done very poorly with what's going on, but I probably would have been on pace and come pretty close to that. So I've got something to work towards, because I don't want to let her down by thinking that I had the ability to get somewhere and I only got half. I only got halfway there. So I'm going to try, Christine, for you to get close to that number. But again, I couldn't thank the team enough to be giving me the opportunities that I have on a daily basis. And I'll tell you, I'll take every lead and I'll beat it to a dead horse until I am telling you till I'm willing to say they're not going to buy.
Yeah, no, I love that, because when I call you and I would tell you like, oh my God, guess who's on the leaderboard? You're like, who's number one? Who? And I'm like, Rachel Barkley. And you're like, come on, who is it for reals? I'm like, are you crazy? Like, what? Do you not know how awesome you are?
And I don't. Again, for me, it's really just about doing a job that I know is important to do, getting somebody from start to finish, from a lead to a client to a friend. That's just, like I said, that's all I know. Somebody came to me with a problem. They wanted to find a house, a condo, a mobile home, a piece of land that they're not going to build on for 25 years. What else have I gotten? I've gotten a home that I've got to go off-roading to get to it. So if I didn't have an SUV, I had to go out and buy one. Just everything you could imagine. I wouldn't have these opportunities if I joined another team. I just can't. I see so many agents out there that don't know what they're doing. I do deals with people that, God, I wish I could get their clients away from them and tell them what the right thing to do is. But at the end of the day, like I said, my job is to take that vulnerable client that doesn't know what they're doing, vulnerable lead that doesn't really know what they're doing, moving here maybe from out of state, has never been here in their entire life, to figuring out a way to take a video of a house so that they can feel comfortable whether or not this is going to be their house, to now they're my client, to now they're my friend. And that, to me, there's no other job out there that you can do that. And again, at the end of the day, I'm providing them with a place that they're going to build so many memories, and I'm going to be part of that. And that's what I like at the end of the day.
It's so rewarding. And, as I was the same way when I started real estate. Like my first referral, my second real estate client, if you don't count myself, because I was actually my first own real estate client, but my second real estate client from 2004, I was just at his wedding last year in Temecula in wine country, beautiful wedding. I just helped him and his new bride, she had me at her bachelorette party. She's just like such a sweet person. I'm so happy for him because he is so happy, and I see it, and it's, that is rewarding. And then like for me, now it's like this new like position. As I talk to you guys more than I talk to my husband, on certain days and weeks, but it's so rewarding for me to see you happy and to know that you're fulfilled, because if you're not happy, your clients aren't going to be happy. Like the team's going to not be happy. And it's so important that we have a healthy team relationship. And, I take pride, but it's not my pride, not pride that like, you owe everything to me, but just pride. I'm just happy. I'm happy to be a part of this journey with you.
Well, and again, the resources that are provided. I mean, today, we have a team meeting every Tuesday, and today we were provided with, Tina from the Comfort Report. Like, who gets that? And we get it often. It's not, these are not things, you bring in our lender so that right now, why, all this craziness is going on, how can she guide us to help us, help our clients, answer the right questions when they're concerned about should or should they not buy during this crazy time. So the tools and the resources, we can't do without that. We just can't. And, again, I've seen so many agents go into the business and kind of fend for themselves. And that's why they go in the business and in 6 months they're out of the business. Because if you don't have that support and you don't have the resources and you don't have the tools and you don't have the training of people like yourself who've, done all kinds of deals, and people like Marsha and people like Lisa, you're just not going to be able to succeed. I don't think you just need that support system in order to, again, have a good balance. But, like I said, I got a mentor when I first started, and trust me, that girl answered the phone at odd times when I was calling to be like, dude, this is going to be the dumbest question you've ever heard. I don't even know how to get a signature on DocuSign. So, I'm supposed to send a contract out, and she's like, let me just do it for you this time. And then the next day I went to her house. I sat in front of her computer. She showed me exactly what it was like to set up 2 screen thing. I mean, I am telling you, the support is like no other. I mean, there's also teams that I hear people go to and they don't have the support. It's just like, hey, I'm part of this team. That person's got a big name and that's what it is. But if you don't have the support, like I said, I couldn't be where I am without the support that I've had. Like I said, last week, Marsha took a video for me. She lives in Anthem. I had an out-of-state client that needed to see this video, and I'll go do it down the street, So the reciprocation of what we do for each other is, like I said, it's not really about teammates. It's about friends that really care about everybody being successful, and you just don't get that everywhere when you're working, I guess.
And it's one of the reasons why I moved to eXp Realty, because I'd already had, Kyle Whistle in San Diego. I've been friends with him for years, always looked up to him. And especially in times like right now, I'm so glad that I have this network, because everyone needs support. Like, you cannot do this alone. You just can't. And if you are, you're cutting yourself short, and you're cutting your client short, of course, in my opinion. But having my mentors like Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle and some of the top agents in the nation, all over the nation, and it's not just like we're confined to just Phoenix. We can collaborate with our agents in San Diego. We can collaborate with our agents in Key West. And it's that, and we all are aligned together. We all have ownership in the company. We all have stock. We all have revenue share opportunities. And I love actually that 3 out of the last 5 agents that came on our team were introduced to us by other agents on our team. So now that they have revenue share, they're getting financially rewarded. It provides a whole other connection. But, we are the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And it's just really important to pick carefully.
Absolutely. That's for sure.
No Debbie Downer allowed.
No, we don't have those. We don't want them. Nope. I just, like I said, I'm really happy. I mean, the last 6 months have been a whirlwind of experiences, a whirlwind of emotions. I remember the first couple months, probably the first 45 days, I would cry. I'm like, I am so in over my head. I have no idea what I'm doing. How did somebody possibly put 3 contracts together in one day? I didn't even like, how am I even saying this? What do you mean you're writing 3 contracts in one day? I would have thought it was going to take me 6 months to write 1 contract and find somebody to sell a house to. But again, just having the support of somebody else being able to put their eyes on that contract when I first started was important. Can you please tell me that I did this right? Can you please tell me that, my people are going to get what they want out of this and I didn't write it incorrectly, or I didn't write the close date wrong, or whatever it was. It was always somebody there willing to help, always.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's all of us together. We all have our own strengths. We all have our own weaknesses. And I love that we both also have humility. Like, I am more than willing to say, this is what I'm not that great at, and I need help on, and everybody, I rely on Shaylin for technical support and marketing and social media channels I'm not as familiar with. And, for me, I have this 17-year book of real estate experience, and I would think I would have seen it all, but no, it's not true. I'm still learning every day.
And we use some great technology. And I kind of remember, and I don't know if you remember this, but in the interview, you mentioned all this technology and systems. And I'm like, dude, that is not me at all. Like, I am paper and pencil and notes and Post-its. I am not somebody, this computer stuff, it's not going to work for me. So if this is how you work, it's not, and you're like, no, it's really easy. Like, I'm the same way. So if I can do it, you can do it. So the same thing. So the ability to use these amazing tools to help your database, tell you what you're supposed to be doing every day. But then the minute you get hung up on something, there's somebody I can call to be like, oh my God, I'm getting all these emails with somebody else's leads because I've never heard these names before. Why are they? So there's somebody on our team that can answer everything. And always answers you. It's not like I call at 8:00 in the morning and no one calls me back till 8 p.m. at night. Christine will jump on and be like, hey, I'll get and screen share and show you how to do this and move this here and change this status and do that. And it's like, I would have never been able to figure that out. I mean, there's so much more for me to learn when it comes to, what we use as our technical tools. But our technical tools are really what drives our business and helps us keep ourselves organized. And I'm an extremely organized person in general, and I'm extremely regimented. So I thought, oh my God, this is going to totally rock my boat. Like, nobody can change every system that I have in place. Like, nobody's going to be able to do that. And I'll tell you, I don't know what I would do without our systems. I just don't. It tells me what I'm supposed to be doing every day because I put it there. I might have put it there 3 weeks ago, but I put it there. So to be able to know that between the team support, the technology that we use, the, ability to now do virtual tours that you've been doing probably for the last, I don't know, you've been doing them probably for 5-6 years now.
Well, we're actually, the 3D tour is actually pretty cool because we were one of Zillow's beta testers. So they reached out to a few teams, and we must have done it well because when they announced it on Inman, they featured our house to go nationwide. And it really came in handy because I know a lot of agents were scrambling to get virtual tours on their listings with COVID. And we're like, yeah, that's all there still. So we didn't have to do anything. We could have more time to search for hand sanitizer.
Which we did that too. But I know too that with what you just said with the virtual tours, I don't think I would have ever been very comfortable with sending, when you guys are like, oh, send your client a video. I'm like, I'm not sending my client a video of myself. Like, who does that? I see these people on social media and that's all they do is videos of themselves. And you're like, God, but oh gosh, you guys were right. Like, that's what hooks them in. So the ideas, the consistency in what you guys teach, the steps of the systems, they all work. And it's like, you might be skeptical of them at first because I've only done things my way. And I will tell you that I know my way is always the right way until you present something like this. and you find out that there's a better way. And you guys are all about working smarter, not harder. And it frees up a lot of time so that you can prospect and do what you need to do to be successful. And you guys have allowed me to do that. So thank you.
And stay in your lane, like of what you like and you're most passionate about. Like, would you be more passionate about processing paperwork and uploading to SkySlope, or would you be more passionate about meeting more clients like Rob and Chris and, you know, some of the clients that are now dear friends to you?
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing. I'm not somebody that thinks that my best use of time or my best use of skill is going to be sending a DocuSign back and forth. Actually, that is going to be the worst use of my time because it's going to take me 10 times longer than it's going to take somebody that knows what they're doing. So therefore, yes, that's another thing that the team provides, is somebody that is able to do all that for you. And at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I'm out showing houses and I've got to come home and I've got to find them more houses. But how am I supposed to get this document to them? And then it comes back to me and then it has to go to the, what am I doing? I honestly was like, my head was spinning. But then I realized, oh my God, there's somebody on our team that does that. Okay, great. That was life-changing for me, was like, oh, I don't have to do all that. And it makes sense because I'm not good at that. That's not what I'm good at. I'm good at being customer service driven to find and solve a problem of somebody needing a house, not sending documents out. So thank you for allowing me to do what I'm good at, not bogging me down with things that I'm not good at and don't, like you said, really want to be doing anyway. So, and my clients deserve me and what I'm good at. And so it's not fair to say to them, I'm so sorry I can't show you this house because I have 18 DocuSign documents to get to this person and then to me and then back to that person. And now I got to upload it to send the offer out. Like, no, thank you for allowing us to get out and do what we're here to do. And that's provide service for our clients that need to find homes or sell homes.
Well, it's been awesome, Rachel. I would love to kind of end this with just a little bit more about you. One thing that I loved is I asked you advice, I think, on restaurants near the stadium. And boy, oh boy, did you have a very long list of recommendations. And you're like, you have to call me anytime you're going to go out to dinner. I will tell you exactly where to go and when to go. And, you know, food.
Well, it's going to be maybe different after this COVID because I'm not sure where I'm going to be able to send you anymore. So I am trying to support local as much as possible. We do, my husband and I do, we actually met in the restaurant business. So we are foodie people. We wanted to be able, you know, we go out every Saturday. We try new places probably before we should. They've been open for 4 hours and we're sitting at the bar already. But yeah, I just think it's part of what I provide somebody. They move into the West Valley and I want to say, oh my God, you've got to go to Tijuana Tacos, best taco place ever. So that's just me. But like you said, I have obviously a husband. I have 2 daughters, 10 and 12. One's a competitive dancer. One's a competitive soccer player. My husband actually works in utility grade solar, so he travels a lot. When I first started with you guys, he was actually never home. So I juggled a lot. And again, I'm not successful if I'm not juggling. That's the best part of me, is that I'm able to actually perform the best when I'm the busiest. So, but we live in Scottsdale. I've been here since 1997, and we moved to California for a short period of time. So I have a lot in common with a lot of clients that are coming from California. So that makes it helpful. Weirdly enough, I've had half a dozen clients that are from Portland. My husband worked all of his first year of work in Portland. So just being knowledgeable about the Valley. I mean, I was in medical sales for a long time, so I know the Valley inside out and backwards. And that's why I know restaurants wherever you go.
And you're Jewish. What did you make that meat that you made at the Christmas party?
Oh, I made a baked salami, which isn't, but I am Jewish. So we did just celebrate Passover. So that was the first experience of our first Seder via Zoom. So everybody was on Zoom and everybody was in their own homes having their own Seder with the family. So that was an interesting experience. My kids do go to Hebrew school. We are planning on going to Israel next year for them to be bat mitzvahed together. So hopefully everything cleans itself up so we can take that dream family vacation.
Have you been there yet?
What?
Have you been to Israel yet?
I have not. No.
I want to really go. My mom went 2 years ago, and even like the Dead Sea, like how
Yep.
you float.
Yep. So we're really hoping that that's something. My mom and dad have never been either, always a dream of theirs. So they were coming with us to see that, accomplishment for the girls. But I'm not involved in the PTO. I know you mention all the time, if you're ever at a PTO meeting, I'm not a big, involvement in PTO because I've always worked. I've always just been not available in a situation that I worked from 8 to 5. And I was one of those people that had to say, no, I can't go to the school play today because I'm working. So now I do have that flexibility to be able to say that I can go. But all I can say is, for people like yourself and I, Jennifer, and anyone else on our team that works as hard as we work and stay as busy as we stay as with our kids, take the time to be with your husband and have those conversations that are needed so that they can understand why it's important for you to be successful and contribute. And that doesn't interfere with your relationship. And that's why our Saturday nights are worth every penny. And we're very dejected that we haven't had one in a few months.
I know. No date nights for us. It's been.
Yes. It's very, very sad, but we've adjusted, like I said, ordering in local. So hopefully the restaurants that we enjoy the most are still around when we get out of this. But I don't know. I just, like I said, this has been great. I was shocked when you said this was going to be me. And, I just going to keep trekking away and, want to be part of this for a long time.
Well, I am joining the journey and excited to see you grow together and help our clients and have fun.
Yep. And we do that well.
We get back to life again. I can't wait. I've never spent more than I do now.
Right? Never thought you'd say that.
All right. Well, thanks for saying yes, and thanks for sharing your story. I've learned more about you today. I had no idea there was someone else trying to poach you, but I'm glad you picked us. And I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye. Bye for now.